Hi, today we're going to need a ball. This is a 7 to 8 inch size ball. If you have one that big, that would be the best. But if all you have is the larger ball, that orange one on the ground is like a 12 inch, I believe it's called, that will work as well. We're going to start out standing. I want you to set your feet parallel, hip width apart. Hold on to your ball, but just move around a little. Like just nothing, I don't know, not an exercise. Just lean your weight in different directions or bend your knees. Keep it safe, keep it controlled. But as you keep moving around, I want you to feel your feet. Sense all the inside, the outside, forward and back, and just play around with pushing into different areas. Then I want you to come back up into your normal standing posture and align your weight so it feels like your entire body is over your heels. When you accomplish it and you're breathing and all, you should feel a very gentle connection with your core already. If you're not sure if your weight's over your heels, try to wiggle around your toes a little bit. And as long as you can wiggle them without a big like wave motion forward and back, you probably have your weight back enough. Okay, so we're going to stay lined up like that. You're going to grab your ball now, put it underneath one arm and try to push it right up into the underarm area. Rest that arm and take your other arm and just gently pull on your forearm to help hug the arm into the ball to hold it against your ribs. Now, a little check on your shoulder. If you feel real tense from having a ball there, let the shoulder, or let the upper arm, let's call it this end of the arm, just fall back and down within the socket. So it really gives into the support of the ball. Now let's do some focused breathing. I want you to take a slow breath in through your nose, encouraging the ribs to expand into the ball. And then when you exhale, feel the ball press back into the ribs as the ribs hug the air out of your body. As you breathe in, feel that lateral expansion of the rib cage into the ball. And then on the exhale, just support the arm, hugging that ball in, pushing back against the rib cage. I want you to keep breathing like that. If you would like a slightly more challenging version of this as we're warming up, now I want you to switch to standing on one leg and try to tune in to how the tone you create through the expansion helps you engage all the muscles up the side of your body that are supporting you balancing on one foot. Please remember we're just warming up, so I'm not challenging you to take you here unless this is the kind of thing you enjoy. Otherwise, just keep breathing with both feet on the ground, using the feet on the ground as a way to root into the earth, to sense that support you create from being solid on the ground. And then finish that breath that you're doing and then just take the ball out for a sec. All right, now I want you to put it in between your legs, but high. If you're using a larger ball like the orange ball, don't stick it all the way up here. You can go down like halfway down your thigh or whatever you can do. All right, keep a squeeze into the ball. Imagine that squeeze coming right from the hip socket, like the ball plugging into the socket a little bit more. And then let your arms just hang. And I want you to start your breath again with the focus on the rib cage and see if the ribs feel any different with that pressure against them. Is your weight still on your heels? Check that too. Now, in rhythm with your breath, let's move your arms. So I want you to inhale, taking your arms overhead like you have big wings, and then exhale to come back down. Now, as the arms swing, remember the action of the ribs. When we do that lateral breath, the ribs are going to open out and up on your inhale, just like your arms lifting. And when you exhale together and down, one more time. So you may notice like a different amount of freedom or stability on one side versus the other when we do that check-in. All right, let's even you out. So you go back to your normal stance. I'm not going to make you wiggle all around again, but get your weight over your heels and you can wiggle your toes if you need to for that feedback. All right, rest my arm around the ball. Take the other one to hold it in. Weight on the heels, chest lifted. And you breathe. Even if you're going to go to one leg, take at least 2 breaths with both feet on the ground, sensing how pushing down into your feet helps you stay tall, whether we're talking about the expansion or the contraction phase. I'm going to switch over to the 1 foot version just to show you. So now you're inhaling with the ribs expanding into the ball. And then when you exhale, feel the ball pushing back into the ribs and all the energy pulling into your midline. And just keep the attention on that expansion of your ribs into the ball. And the connection of the exhale. Can you sense anything else? Your pelvic floor, your deep abdominals. We're going to do 2 more breaths. Feel yourself get wider with the inhale. And then exhale. Remember to support holding that arm in against your side. And just 1 more time. Inhale, expanding in every direction. And then exhale, compressing into the center of your body. All right, let's take that out. Let's go back to in here. So this is just giving us a little bonus inner thigh work, especially if you can get that ball up high. It really helps activate sensation within the hip joint, like your sensory nerves. All right, so sensing your breath again. Breathe in and take your time with that inhale, imagining the air going down to your feet, expanding you out to the sides, lifting the crown of your head. And then take your nice long exhale. Feel the support as your abdominals compress to help the diaphragm lift. And now you can add those arms coming up on your inhale and then down on your exhale. Try to lift with no effort in your arms. Just play with the idea of the force of your breath and that expansion of the ribs helping your arms float up. And then exhale and just deflate with the breath. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale. And then exhale back down. Okay. All right, so from here, let's go down onto the floor. I'm going to have you place the ball underneath your sit bones. And we're just going to sit on it. I'm going to go sideways to you so you can see the positioning of everything. Okay. I'm going to turn the knees out, bottom of the feet together, keep the hands on the ground. I have just a fingertip touch to reach. And then sense your posture. So now I'm bringing the stimulation to a new area. We're going to your sit bones. So I'm going to sit right on the sit bones and create an alignment of my head, ribs, and hips stacked over each other. Take a breath in. When you exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis, pushing the ball slightly forward, and that'll create flexion in your lower spine. Then as you breathe in, stick out your tailbone, bring the curve into your low back, and correct your posture. I'm just going to keep my arm out of the way for a sec. So when I curl, the hips roll forward, and you can see that like they're traveling towards my feet, and then I'm going to stick the sit bones back out. And that's where the power is coming. I am using my leg muscles to get that curl, and then pushing back, so the push-pull at the feet and the pelvis. And all the while, I'm trying to stay tall through my spine. Exhale, so it's like a seated imprint. Inhale back one more time, curling and returning. Okay, now, using the force of your inhale, I want you to hinge forward, maintain your neutral alignment, and you're just tipping your chest toward your feet, and then exhale to return to vertical. So now as I tip forward, my chest goes towards my feet, but my hips are going away from the feet. So still a push-pull. I'm just hitting a different range. I'm trying to rock more towards the pubic bone with the ball and then back on the sit bones. 2 more times, expanding with that inhale and exhale back up. 1 more time, tipping forward with that neutral spine and then back up to vertical. Okay, now put your feet flat. I'm going to bend side to side. So I'm going to take one arm up to the ceiling, and then I'm going to side bend like a mermaid. The ball's going to roll a little bit towards the sit bone on that same side, and then I'm going to return that hand to the ground and go the other way. And just back and forth, and just nice and fluid. Of course, this is accenting a spine bend, but let the arm just become part of that expression, just floating back and forth. One more to each side, and then up, and then over. And lift. Okay, so we're going to go into kneeling, and I want you to put the ball underneath one of your shins, closer to the knee end of your shin, and then the other one you could just, kneel. And then come down on all fours here in your quadruped position. So now that we've stimulated the sit bones, I want you to stay aware of them. See if you can feel what's going on here as we go through the different exercises. I'm going to mimic a crawl. So I'm going to take the opposite hand from the ball side, and I'm going to take a crawling step forward, shifting my weight into that front hand. So you can see I've just put a little bend in my elbow, and then I'm going to have you push yourself back a little further than where you started. So now the ball is under my knee. So I'm going to go forward, the ball is going to roll towards the ankle, back, it goes towards the knee. And so this, even though we're repeating the same side, like, kind of like we're crawling in place, you're getting through both ends of it. Each hip has a chance to flex more through the range we're going. And as you're doing that, back to your sit bones, your shoulders and your pelvis end up doing just a little bit of lateral flexion, so you can kind of feel your sit bones going left, right, like in the last sitting exercise. That's the last one on this side. Okay, let's go to the other side. So again, you want to begin on the shin closer to the knee end of the world while the legs are even. Then we take that opposite arm, shift the weight forward to make your crawl, and then back. Shifting forward. And I know I'm far, far away from you, but give a little pressure in. So not a full push-up, but I am bending my elbow a little bit so I can receive the weight and then push away from the floor. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now bring the ball in front of you. We're going to stick it under your hands for a couple cat stretches. So here, speaking of where our load's going, I'm going to put some load over my legs. See, I'm not even really using my arms. I'm going to have a little extra flexion at the hips and the knees. Ball's going to go underneath your hands. When you flex your spine in the cat stretch, you're going to tuck your tail under, round the spine, and the ball's going to come a little closer to you. So you can see I'm tipped, kind of like when I'm on the former starting down stretch. Then I'm going to stick out the tailbone, push the ball away slightly so I can still prop up my chest and chin in extension. Exhale, tuck the tail under, round the spine. Inhale, roll it back out. You're going to get a lot of leg action in this variation. So right now I can feel my quads a little bit. I can feel my glutes working. I feel my hamstrings, and then back out. And it's nice because it's an interplay of concentric and eccentric contractions. You can really feel the push-pull between the muscle groups in the front and the back. And reach back out. One more time, using control to pull that ball in, curling the spine, and then rolling it back away, and just putting the brakes on to catch yourself. Okay. Still need to be sitting back a bit. Leave one hand on the ball. Make the other one the one, though. We're going to do a thread the needle. So you're going to rotate with your free hand, going underneath the other arm. And as your weight sits back, you're going to accent rolling the ball forward and twisting 2 and 3. And then I'm going to come back out of it. Repeating same side again. 3. Drop in that twisting shoulder. 2 and 1. Pull on out of it. One more time. Twisting, 3 and 2 and 1, and then back to center. All right. Da 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 da. On your exhale, sit back and twist. Look where your hand's going. 3. Hips up to the ceiling, head down towards the floor. 1, and pull on out of it. And again, rotate for 3. Letting that ball glide, and 1. And then back one more time. And twisting, 3 and 2 and 1. And then back out of it. All right. We're going down onto your back. I'm going to have you set one leg out straight on the mat. You're going to put the ball behind the other knee. Arms are going to be out to the side a little bit wider than the mat for this. We're going to do a knee stir. So I want you to pause for a second, find a neutral alignment with your pelvis. So you have a little curve present under your low back. You're going to trace half a circle when you breathe in, bringing your leg across and down. Exhale around and up. So I've got a good and a bad having the ball here. It's work to squeeze it, which makes me use my hamstrings to keep hold of it. But then the hamstrings are also available to support the hip joint by contracting, where you might get a nice release in your hip instead of that twang if you're a twanger. When you get up to the top, you're going to switch direction. I find like the one big modification that this forces me to do, I let my knee come in closer than I normally am looking for in this exercise. But again, with it flexed this much, that shouldn't be a problem. You should still be able to be neutral in your pelvis. I feel like I'm talking too fast today. Sorry if I am. One more time. And then return. Okay, now take your arms out even wider to the sides. And I want you to let your leg fall to the side. So you get a little cross that way. And then turn back onto your side and let it fall out the other way without this hip coming. So we're going to stay down there. And then across, let your hips twist. And if you'd like, you can look away from it for even more twist. And then when it goes out, we're anchoring the hip down. And then again across. Yeah, I think the head turn is good. I'm sorry, I wasn't doing it because I was looking at myself on the screen to make sure I was doing it right. And then out and relax. All right, let's switch legs. All right, circling towards the midline and down, and then around and up. As you're circling, inhale, exhale. You want to inhale as the legs falling away, and then use the exhale to create stability while you lift. Just one more time, keeping that grip on your ball. Find those hamstrings, and around and up. My pants are slipping. Let's go the other way. And around and lift. Anchoring down that opposite hip, and try to feel that disassociation. Your goal here is to move the leg in the hip joint without letting the pelvis come. 2 more times. Open and release. Exhale up. Last time. And then up. Oh, if you were following my movements and not what I should have been telling you, I had my arms out too wide. Sorry. Drop your knee across. This is where I need an editor. An editor and what would the other thing be that I need? Just somebody sitting on the floor going, hey, Kate, you forgot to do this. A student. I need a student to remind me when I mess up. Drop over. And then back across. Yeah, man, that's the downside of virtual with you guys versus live. I have nobody to keep me in line when I behave badly. And then go the other way. All right, so you're going to grab that out. And next we're going to go into just some crunch stuff to warm up the rest of you. I'm sorry, I got to fix my headphones. We're going to put the ball behind your back. Okay. Okay. Leave a little space in between your legs, feet flat on the mat, hands behind your head. The ball's in the lower half of the rib cage, so the ball ends about where the shoulder blades start. When you breathe in, lay back around the ball so you're in an extended upper body. Then when you exhale, curl your head and shoulders up so you're looking at your knee. As you lay back, inhale, exhale as you come back up. When you're doing this motion, if you feel a strain in your neck, the ball's too low. So if you move it up a bone or two, it should make it go away. I want you to have a response at the pelvis from going up and down with the upper body. So I feel like the pubic bone drops down when I lay back and it tips up just a little bit. You don't have to push that hard. That doesn't require a big squeeze of your glutes. Your abdominal muscles can do enough if they shorten from both ends. Like when you imprint in length and like you're in neutral, we're just doing a bigger range, but still imagining that connection of the muscles getting longer here and shorter with your breath. You're going to do 2 more, laying back and flexing up. 1 more time, laying back and flexing up. Okay, now I want you to either slide down so the ball is higher up your back or just move it higher up your back. For spacing, I'm going to do that. Get it in between your shoulder blades. Oh, I'm wondering if my hood's going to be a problem here. You're going to leave one hand behind your head, other arm by your side. When you lay back over the ball again, take your arm with you and reach back into extension. Then when you exhale, you're going to circle the arm and rotate your upper body, finishing back in flexion where you started. So you're going to inhale as you lay back, exhale, rotate, circle, and lift. Inhale back, exhale around and up. 3 more times, lay back, circle, and lift. And 2, circle up. 1 more time, and circle to lift. All right, now you're going to switch arms. As you breathe in, lay back, reaching your arm overhead. Exhale, circle the arm, come back up. Breathe in as you lay back, and then circle and lift. Inhale to feel that openness. Exhale to find support of the abs. 3 more times, and circle up. Let your gaze go with you so you're rotating, looking to that hand as it comes around and around and back up. All right. You're going to place the ball against the side of your rib cage, even with your chest. Lay with your bottom leg bent and your top leg out straight, and then rest your head down on your bottom forearm so you're starting in a side bend. Lay your top arm on your leg. We're going to create a side bend. I want you to keep your top leg down as a point of anchoring. Hips on top of each other. All right. When you breathe in, I want you to breathe into the ball like we did in the warm-up as you slide your top arm down your side to bring you into side bend. And then when you exhale, use your whole breath to come back down. Okay, so inhale. We're going to push into the ball, and that expansion on that side lets us float up. And then exhale, just like a balloon deflating, sink back down. Inhale as you lift. So I want you to use this breathing rhythm to feel your inhale as your force of stability. So imagine on the inside, as you're filling up with that air, that expansion of your rib cage makes you sturdy, like you brace. You know when you brace with your abs. So I'm going to take that force of my breath, filling up, pushing into the ball to lift and lower back down. Let's increase the load just a little more. So you're going to take your arm up to here. And as you inhale, same breath, I want the arm to kind of like you're doing on a little teapot, and then exhale back down. And again, inhale, lifting, reaching towards where the wall meets the ceiling, and then back down. This range of motion should be limited. Remember, if we go too far, you're like coming off the ball. We want to stay with the sense of that moving towards that. One more time. And lift, and then back down. I believe you did that excellently, I can tell. All right, we're going to switch to your hands like this. I'm propped up on the bottom elbow, top hand behind the head, both legs reaching forward. Kick them towards the front edge of the mat. I'm like maybe, I don't know, foot and a half ahead of where my hips were. All right, top leg goes up to hip height. Try to set it parallel. As you breathe in, you're going to swing it forward, doing 2 pulses to the front. When you exhale, point your toes, kick back, create a little rotation in your upper body. Inhale, 2 kicks forward. Exhale, point and reach back. Inhale. So what I'm looking for here on the front kick, a little stretch in the back of the leg. And then this, I feel like through my abs down to the opposite front of the hip, inner thigh. A lot going on here. Inhale, kick, kick. And exhale, pull it back. And again, reach, reach. Exhale, sweep. 2 more times. Kick, kick. And exhale back. Now we got the endurance of that outer hip muscle holding the leg up. All right, let's flip over to the other side. Okay. Chest ball floor. Side lie, resting your head on your forearm. Bottom knee bent, top leg out straight and in line with your body. All right, so I'm resting the top arm on my leg. The force to lift is coming from our expansion. As you inhale, glide the arm down your leg as you breathe into the ball. Exhale as you come back down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower. Let's keep going. Many of you will experience this exercise very different side to side. It's already weird that we're kind of not familiar with lifting through expansion, right? So that's so new skill. But if you have scoliosis or a side dominance, your ability to expand on one side should feel different than the other. One more time, using that glide down to drop the shoulder as you come up and exhale lower. Let's add up here. All right, so I'm a little teapot now. Breathe in. So energetically, arms go in to where the wall meets the ceiling so I can keep side bending and then lower back down. And it's less dramatic, but I still am creating a downward force from here to help initiate that side bend. We need a contribution of the shoulder to get this shape with your upper body, especially when we don't have the same breath emphasis to get the muscular force there. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, lower. And last time to lift and then back down. Okay, prop up on your bottom elbow. Legs out straight. Take them to the front edge of your mat. Ooh, sorry. And then other hand behind your head. Okay. Top leg to hip height. And parallel. On your inhale, you're going to kick forward for 2 pulses. Point your toe, kick back on your exhale. Reach out through the heel on that front kick. Exhale, remember to rotate your upper body. Inhale, kicking 1, 2. Exhale, point and press back. Still sense the breath into the ball, even though I'm not really changing the shape of the spine. Get that feeling of sturdiness we were talking about before. Use both phases of your breath to help you feel like you're safe on here. and reach, reach. Exhale, pull it back. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, sweep back the leg. Last time, kicking 1, 2, and exhale back. All right, let's get rid of that. We're going to go face down now. Okay. Superhero. You're going to hold the ball just above your head, elbows bent out to the side. I want your legs to be open about hip width apart with your toes turned out. Phase 1, you're going to reach your arms out long. So we look actually already kind of like superhero. You're going to bend your elbows back to the first way I had you positioned. As you lift your head and chest, you're in a slight extension. My elbows are on the mat. Then I'm going to lower back down to a hover and reach the arms overhead. Then you're going to lift up, so pull the ball in a little bit to help you push away from the floor and lower back down. Initiate this with your shoulder blades gliding back and down as part of the arm movement, and then back down. So it's like we're repositioning the socket so the arms have somewhere to go as you're lifting. Last one. Lifting up on your inhale. Exhale back down. Now stay in hover. Draw your abs in, pulling them away from the mat. Lengthen both of your legs and hover them off the mat. And then lower them back down. So we're going to use your exhale to find the abs first. Elongate the legs, float up. So now that is our superhero. Inhale, lower back down. Let's feel that out a couple times, but we are setting up swimming. Exhale up. It'll be a just legs swimming, kind of like you're holding one of those foam paddly board things. Lower back down. This is the one you're keeping. Exhale up. Now start your small flutter kick. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes an interesting challenge, making it a little harder not to rotate your upper body. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. But pushing into the ball gives you a sense of midline. Keep connecting. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it all out long. Take it back down. All right. Move the ball into one hand. On one side, that side of the shoulder, with your hand on the ball. Forearm on the ball. I know what I'm doing. I just haven't taught this in a while. Sorry. Other arm, elbow bent in by your side. Now I'd like to take your legs out a little bit wider, still in a turnout, because we're going into a swan. You're going to push yourself away from the floor with the arm that is touching the floor, and you're going to drag the ball in towards you as you lift up into extension. Then you're going to roll the ball forward as you land back down onto your forearm. That's the truth. Inhale, press away with your forearm. Lift your chest, look forward. My pubic bone is still on the mat here. And then you're going to lower back down, elongating, get a nice stretch in your lat by pushing that ball out. One more time this way, lifting up, and then lower down. All right, now I'm going to add rotation to this. So as I come up, I'm going to look over the shoulder on the ball side, which pulls that shoulder back a little more. Then I'm going to turn my head towards the pushing arm. I'm going to lift up, look towards the ball side, come down, look towards the floor side. And one more time, lifting up and twisting, and then lowering back down. Okay, I'm going to switch hands. We're going to go back to 3 reps without the rotation, so start at your forearm. As you inhale, breathe into your chest, pull yourself forward and up away from the floor. Anchor that pubic bone. Exhale, lower back down. And again, inhale, glide your shoulder blades back and down, open the chest. Exhale, compress your abs, melt back down. One more time. Reach your ears away from your shoulders as you're rising up, and lower back down. Now adding the twist. So I'm going to come up, look over the shoulder, and then come back down, look towards the floor hand. Lifting, looking towards ball side. Exhale to lower back down. One more time, keep that chin up, see over the shoulder, and then lower back down. All right, from there, sit back in a shell stretch, hips onto your heels. Now we're going to round the spine, and then tuck your tail under, start to roll up. Exhale, you're going to come back down in extension. Curl up, and then lower back down. Just a few more of these. and then flex and drop, flex and drop. We're coming all the way up. All right, let's go down onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat again, arms overhead, about halfway towards the floor. I want you to do a bridge. So you're going to lift your hips up in a bridge. Just make sure you could deal with that with your arms up. Lower your hips back down. Now do a crunch, and I want you to put the ball between your knees. Lower back down, reach your arms to that halfway back point. Lift your hips up, squeezing your ball now. Lower your hips down, curl up, grab it back out. Lower back down. You see where I'm going there? Lift your hips without the ball. Inhale, lower. Exhale, nod your chin. Do a crunch. Put the ball there. Lower back down. Now use that ball. Squeeze those inner thighs. Lift your hips. Lower back down. Give me the crunch. Flex up and lower. Now, when the ball is not there, how do we get the inner thighs to work? You're going to push down on your big toes. Okay, so different sensation, but both are important. Come on back down. Use that when you crunch up as well. Inner thighs always help you feel more of the pelvic floor in the deep abs. Give the ball a squeeze, lift your hips, lower back down, now curl up. And then what you start to do over time is associate those two things together all the time, that the big toes help with the inner thighs, but even when the ball's here, squeezing into something and pushing down on the big toes will help your brain make a better connection all the time. Let's just grab that one more time. And lower, and then lift one more time. Drop. Let's finish with one more crunch, and then back down. Okay, grab the ball back out. Straighten your legs out. You're going to lift your arms up to the ceiling and do a full roll up now. So I'm going to curl forward, rounding the spine, reaching towards the legs. And then you're going to roll back, lay out flat, reach overhead. Arms go up, nod the chin, curl forward, reach towards your legs. Roll back and reach overhead. Inhale up. When you get to the top, if you're having trouble getting on your sit bones, bend your knees. I always want you to reinforce sensation in that area, which will help you be more aware of when you're sitting up straight all the time, like in a chair, on a stool, on the floor. Let's do going up one more time. Inhale up, curl forward, and sit up tall. All right. Then one knee with the bottom of your foot against your thigh, so you're runner's stretch position. And I've got the ball on the ground next to the straight leg. Then I want you to start rotated. You're going to take your back hand. I want you to make a rainbow. We're going to come meet the other hand, and you're going to roll that ball forward, so I get a little increase of the runner's stretch. Then you're going to come back up, rainbow the hand back over. Now bring the ball in your hand. We're going to come up into a side bend, and then lower back down. Let's keep alternating. So I'm going to make that rainbow, touch the ball, push it forward, push down your opposite sit bone to resist. Come on back up, rainbow, lift your hips, side bend the other way. And again, down to the ground. You take the arm up, rotate, push forward, big rainbow, then lift your hips, side bend, and land it back down. All right, let's switch sides. I gotta do a pants up moment again though, sorry. So I'm a little bit rotated, rainbow, come to the ball, round forward. Look to just to the side of the knee. I'm going to roll back up. I'm going to plant that hand, lift the ball up, create the side bend, and come back down with control. Rainbow and rotate, push the ball forward. Back up, rainbow, plant your hand, lift your hips, big side bend, let the head fall towards the arm. And come back down, one more each way. Rainbow, drop your head, roll that ball forward. Back up to vertical, rainbow. Now push away with the heel of the hand, side bend, and then back down. And you are all done. Have a great day. I will see you soon.